Attention, all curious minds, innovators, and trendsetters. It's time to pause, lean in, and get ready for an extraordinary journey as we dive deep into the fascinating realms of life, technology, entertainment, and business. Let's explore, learn, and grow together. Brace yourselves, for the next thrilling episodes of Hipther Talks is about to take off. Counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go.
Hi everyone, Zoltan here. We're back again this week, and today we're highlighting a profile with whom we have worked with for many years. Is Stefania Barbaglio, founder and director at Cassiopeia Services. Stefania, it's nice to have you here.
Zoltan, it's lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. So Stefania has been moderating our panels for years now and being an active member of our community. But today I just want to ask her to share a few words about herself before we dive into this podcast.
Yeah, 100%. So I remember the first time we met was before COVID. And yeah, I remember you were doing some very interesting event, and then COVID happened. And I remember we had one event scheduled in Tallinn.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't manage to be there. And, you have done so many other things online. So it's always been a pleasure to be part of your roundtable discussion with so many interesting projects. So a bit about myself. I have been involved in crypto and digital assets, Web3, since 2017. Before then, I was mainly focused on financial markets, so small mid-cap companies looking to IPOs, and as afterwards, just raising the profile on public markets. I work across the UK, the US, and also Australia. I have to say that when I got to know, the crypto space, the blockchain space, I went down to the rabbit hole straight away. And I saw the opportunity that actually these emerging technology were bringing to different kind of industries. And obviously, I know you're passionate about gaming, and I'm as well. And obviously, gaming is one of the industry that has been massively disrupted by these technologies from a like a creator perspective, from an engagement perspective, from an ownership perspective. So I think what I'm focused at the moment is obviously my agency still does PR for a project in the space. So anything that does, there's got a project in blockchain, DeFi, gaming, and Web3, we will always have a look. And then we help companies to connect with other ecosystem partners and also with investors. So I try to be excited about my work, and that's why, we kind of choose the project that we want to work with. And it's been an interesting ride.
All right. So you transitioned from modeling and acting in a career in finance and crypto.
Yeah.
So what motivated this significant shift, and how did your previous experiences shape your approach in the tech and in the finance sectors?
So it's interesting because, the modeling and acting part, I was just very young, and it was just for fun. Then I graduated in public relation, and then I did a master's degree in TV production and cinema. And that kind of, that's why I do the podcast. That's why I'm always interested in, the
Makes sense.
Exactly. And then that was in Italy. And then I moved to the UK for a master's degree in international journalism. So I was a trainee video journalist and broadcast journalist. I work at the BBC, Bloomberg, and as always about storytelling. That what I was always been interested. So I think the way that my past shaped me, I think definitely curiosity, definitely passion for storytelling. And that's why, for example, when projects look for fundraise, I always say PR and the way that your messages and the way you present yourself is a key part of the process. You can't think that you can go out and raise money without being able to tell a story, without being able to build a relationship with an investor or a partner and tell them, you need to onboard my journey because, you're just going to make money. Maybe you find people like that, but I think being able to tell a story and get people to, agree with you or be excited about what your journey, I think that's very powerful.
All right. So I found an interview with you in the Daily Star where you mentioned about facing the misogyny in the crypto industry. So could you elaborate on the specific challenges you encountered as a woman in the field and how you navigated them?
Yeah, so that's quite an interesting question, because I think in a way, I don't want to talk about women, underrepresented women, because it's a very feminist point of view. I'm
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm not a feminist at all. However, I have to say that the financial market, as well the crypto market in a way, and in a way, even the gaming is still kind of like the narrative is mainly a male narrative, is mainly pushed by men. And I think women sometimes, even though women are there, for some reason they are in situation of more struggle, of more challenge, of maybe it's a state of mind. And I think what I would like to see, and this is I want to say because this is true, between men there is more collaboration. You are bros, you work together, you help each other. Between women, this is not.
All right.
There is not so much collaboration between women, so I think I want to see more of that. And for example, something that I'm aiming to launch soonish, not too soon, is a women-led fund investing in women, but it won't be a feminist fund. There will be men.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, there will be men working within, but we are going to empower women-led project and find those women entrepreneurs that we think has got a potential that's not been unlocked yet for different kind of circumstances, maybe about diversity, maybe about the place they are, for different kind of there are working women, there are working mom, there is so much going on. And one of the other things that I'm doing, my podcast called Financial Fox, we are going to be launching an ordinals collection that the main things will be, again, giving a voice to women, helping women. And we have a man artist. So it's not that he's a women artist, but I want, the utility of this NFT to foster a community of women voices. And there are also something I'm very passionate about is a gender fluidity. So, I've got men friends, they are more, they are fluid. And I think we are at the state of society where there is not the barriers, especially on gender. They are less, how can I say, fixed or boxed by profiles and by stereotype. You are more free to explore whatever is your truth. And I think that's beautiful.
All right, this is a very powerful message, and like you mentioned, you've been in the blockchain industry since it emerged into the mainstream. So, how do you think cryptocurrency and blockchain are revolutionizing the financial sector?
Oh, and massively. So, like something that, for example, now I see obviously is kind of taking most of the attention from the institutions, but everybody's talking about is really real world assets tokenization.
Yeah.
And for example, there is a company that I'm involved that rather than doing an IPO, what we are looking to do is actually tokenize the funds that we will need for the project to progress. Is an oil and gas company, so to progress the drilling. That could be applied for a mining company, for a real estate development, for anything. But I think real world assets is something that is going to revolutionize the financial markets. DeFi is very interesting. Obviously, there are so many lending protocol, liquidity protocol now. They are coming up with different kind of new product that before were not available. I also think that in order to build the capital markets with DeFi, we need the governance and we need secure governance for secure transaction, which is something that is not there yet. And there is so much from an infrastructure level that we need to have in place in order to create security that then institutions and different parties will be more happy to play with, and also government will look in a different way.
Yeah, our roots are in the gaming industry, but our podcast last year was 80% blockchain and fintech. So, and I also learned a lot about DeepIn and stuff like that.
Because you are the third person that come up with these words, DeepIn. So I was on a call with an investor not so long ago, and it came up DeepIn. Why is DeepIn? And then yesterday there was an event in London. I was on a panel again. We were discussing with DeepIn. Obviously, I did my research before then, but DeepIn is a thing now. So it's important that more and more people understand that we are really looking to disrupt.
Exactly, the economy of things.
Exactly. And it's very exciting because you involve, IoT, involve telecommunication, involve DeFi, involve also creator economy, involve AI in a way. Oh, it's just so deep. It's really deep.
All right. So yeah, exactly. They've been. So you mentioned the courses at the prestigious institutions like Oxford and MIT. So I don't think that they were like innovating in the crypto space, but how important do you think that your formal education in understanding and innovating in the crypto space are?
This is interesting because as I'm moving into the VC space, I just completed an executive program at Imperial College on venture capital, and it was really good to do it. And I think you definitely don't need a certification to do anything nowadays. You just need experience and you need grit. That's all you need. However, maybe because I'm a bit traditional, I don't know, I like to show people that I have got accreditation and I've done the work and I took time, I've invested into something. And I think some people appreciate that. So I think it's up to you. I don't think really those certifications are needed. And sometimes, the digital world know more than what the institution know. At the time I did my courses was 2018, and that was they were actually quite good at the time. And I was so new to the industry that I found value to that. But we definitely need more education, though. And we should teach. And first of all, we should teaching about money at school. So that's something that hasn't been done. Traditional education body, they should use new technology more. But it's always quite challenging, I think, to integrate new things, because some, they're not regulated. You think, oh gosh, then there is the centralized world, then there is no safety yet. So how the children are going to be exposed to that, it might be, scary. And there are so many scams as well, even for older people. So, you teach people about using a decentralized wallet and then or buy an NFT and then they get scammed by a phishing email. So it's a bit, it's dangerous. But, I think everybody should take a responsibility from your action and educate yourself first. So be proactive and educate. Don't rely on other people educating you.
All right. So you already touched based on the lack of broness among women in the crypto industry. So what steps do you think are necessary to foster a more supportive environment for women in this field?
This is an interesting question, $1 billion question. It's tough, because if you think about, then we come back to all to the very early stage of dynamics between men and women. And the men's has always been the one going out for hunting, and the woman has always been the one looking for the family. And I come from an Italian family, so, the Italian culture is like that. But, even the European is very similar. So the woman has always been the one that has to ask for, has to be given, rather than, and giving in a different way. So I think in order to change and empower women more and make them to feel more strong, to bound themselves and stand up, I don't think it's going to be easy. There isn't an easy answer because it's really rooted in our culture. So I think there are simple steps that, maybe can be done. And that could be, for example, having more support from, institution, from government's body, from a private organization to give grants to women, to support women. So just that kind of things is already good. And will get more people to stand up and say, oh, I'm doing this project, I'm doing that. And then from there, there is also another element. Women are very jealous of themselves. Men are not. And why they're jealous? Because they always feel, I want that guy, so I need to be better than you. And there is a competition between women for the man. And that is a problem. So stop being jealous, because we are all different and we all can have what we want. And then, try to look for opportunity to be empowered. So it's a tough question. I don't have like a straightforward answer, but there are, different kind of initiatives that, you can look for. And definitely women need to help themselves, not always feel that somebody has to take care of them.
All right. So let's also talk about this in terms of presence of women in leadership roles within the tech companies. So does it impact the company's culture and decision making in your experience, or it doesn't affect it?
I think there are so many initiatives now to have women on the board, to have women leaders. Actually, some companies, they just put women there just because they have to tick a box. It's like the ESG things, right? So
that's not.
Yeah, exactly. So, which I mean, you can actually see that as an opportunity and actually stand up and show your abilities. But in terms of leadership, I don't think there is so much difference between men and women in terms of leading a company. There are some men, they are very similar to some women in the way they lead a company. I just think there shouldn't be one voice. I think companies and company leaderships is not just one person. And that for me is much more important than the difference between having more women or having more men. Nowadays, you want to have a leader that is not your boss, somebody that empowers you to take ownerships of what you are creating and work for a mission rather than working for a mission company rather than working for someone. And that's always something that I never liked, is to see people in that kind of mindset where they have to work 9 to 5 or they have to do their daily 5 for someone else. This is something exactly. I don't ask a daily 5 to my team. Never ask. You know what you need to do. If you don't do, at some point, you're going to disappear or you're going to go just because you're not, it's your responsibility again. So I think from a leadership perspective, I want to see definitely a company should have women, should have men, should have, fluid gender people, should have people with disability. You don't know, I discovered that autistic people, they have developed skills. They are so powerful. So, and it's a shame that we don't include that in whatever, the project that we're doing. So I think that kind of diversity that I want to see. I want to see more Black people. I want to see, as I said, more disabled, more older people. What's that? And now old people get laid off because they are far behind. This is wrong. So we should have, an organization that is able to be more inclusive. And I think that would be nicer.
Yeah, unfortunately, the mainstream is only focusing on the feminist part, not also on this side of things, because we have been covering like inclusion of disabilities and stuff like that since 2019 at conferences in Prague. And actually, we had somebody reveal that they are partly blind working in a company. He revealed himself during our live conference. So
wow.
that was something very interesting to see. So you're also an advocate for evaluating individuals based on skills rather than gender or other attributes. So can you discuss some of the strategies or practices that companies can adopt to ensure this approach as a free advice?
Yeah, you mean regarding what?
Skills. So evaluating based on skills rather than gender or other.
Yeah, no, 100%. So if you have to hire somebody, I never look the school that person has been to. I never looked at the experience. I never looked that person was at the top, company that should have been on the curriculum. The approach that I have is quite funny because if somebody asks me for a job, I will keep that person chasing me for quite some times. So like 1, 2, 3, and I want to see the motivation of the person to work with me or with the company or in that specific field. And if I see resilience and if I see determination to keep coming back and say, do you have time to meet me? Then I say, okay, fine, let's meet this person. So this for me is the most important thing, is being angry, right? Second thing is desire to learn. That's another thing. If you don't know something, obviously for some jobs you need to know, but I would say most of the things in crypto and Web3, you don't need to be an expert, right? And if you want to learn, you can have a mentor and you can be great. So that's the second thing. The third thing is actually, which is quite interesting. You need to be resilient. So if you want to learn, if you learn, okay, then you need to be constant and you need to be punctual and you need to take jobs seriously. So then you are a reliable person. That's the right word. So, I think if you have got all these things, you have got the opportunity to have a great career in crypto and the money will come. The money is not a problem because if somebody understand your value, he doesn't want to let you go. So he will always keep you there in times of difficulties like I did. I didn't sack anybody during COVID. I wasn't taking a salary myself, but I tried to keep everyone going. And then when times are good, then you are able to give more to the people working for you and being open. Somebody wants to do something else. Okay, what do you want to do? Is there an opportunity here to develop in that direction? So I think that's kind of like a free advice to anybody that is recruiting in the space. Is just finding the people is the most difficult things. It's not about building a product or building a business. It's finding the people to work for you and with you, not for you, with you. That's the most difficult things.
All right. So you advise and invest in several blockchain-based application projects.
Yeah.
What do you look for when you decide to support a project?
It's mainly the people. So again, I have got people chasing me to say, I really would like you to work with us. And I think if I see the fire in the person and, the desire to build something, and obviously it's not just one person, you need to have a team of people. And obviously you need to like and understand the potential of what they are trying to build or trying to create. So I think first of all is people, second is project, and then third is obviously you can is balance within the company, and then then is your input. You can help them to grow. Money is not a problem. It's never been a problem. It's never been a problem. If
People have been.
Yeah, it's never been a problem. I just think, sometimes maybe in a project you miss something and then you can always get it. But I think it's the people, is investing in people. Everything investment is investing in people. And for example, I will tell you something. Recently, I got involved in this company called Semoto. They are building a marketplace for a service provider for Web3. So companies, they are starting their own business, they are creating a project. They all need different kind of service provider. And where do you find this best service provider? That's a big problem. So Semoto is building this marketplace where companies and founders can go there and find different service provider, which are different ratings, and there are, different kind of incentives there. And the founder approached me, and I saw that fire in him. And I said, this guy is going to do something. So I want to be part of it. So I think and I think investors, they look at the same. They might ask you for a deck. They might ask you for projection. They want to have an executive summary, a business plan. But at the end of the day, it's all about people and relationship and trust. So they need to trust you that you can deliver, because there is no point to give you the money and then you disappear, you go on a holiday and that's it. And then in 3 years' time, you need to do another raise. This is horrible. This is really the worst part of crypto, is giving money for free to people and then get them wasted. Because, as you know, there are people in many parts of the world, they can make a lot with those money.
All right. So we have also been talking about fashion tech at our conferences.
Yeah.
And that's for the people who have a passion for fashion, actually, and are involved in integrating the new technologies in this industry. So how do you see the intersection of fashion and technology evolving, the fashion tech industry, I mean, especially with the advent of the metaverse?
Yeah.
Is it still something that can be said that it's a hype, or is it already something that's maturing?
I don't know how it's maturing yet, or we can talk about maturation. I think it's something that will definitely mature, but I think there was an hype 100%. Lots of brands have been experimenting. After Facebook changed the name to Meta, then you see different companies. Like I remember when Nike announced they bought
some company with $30 million.
No, in fact, what was I remember they bought a company that was doing digital shoes, and that was, and then since then you see Prada, you see Dolce & Gabbana, you see Burberry. Everybody was either having a game, even Louis Vuitton, they had the Louis game. So there was a lot of hype, and I think I'm not sure how much of those experiments actually added a new revenue stream for brands. I think fashion has always been kind of the forefront of innovation, especially with augmented reality and virtual reality. And then there is obviously AI that is bringing a lot to the space for fashion. I think where blockchain can really be disruptive is on the supply chain side, creating or showing, proving authenticity and provenance. I think that is a big opportunity, and I still have to see a killer app for that. I haven't seen it. It's just very difficult, especially when we are talking about, physical clothing. How do you put something in it that avoid counterfeiting? That's just very difficult. But, there are lots of experimentation on that. And then there is all this element about NFTs, loyalty, so I think client engagement with different kind of digital assets used as a reward or loyalty points, or creating a club because you have the different kind of NFTs, which is not a new concept, it's just a digitalized version. I think that can definitely be more interesting for maybe the next generation. And the same with gaming. Gaming is a new way of engagement. So why no brand should use it? Why no bank should use it? It's just being going to be cross-border. So what I'm excited about fashion tech, I would like to see the fashion industry being more accessible from a creator and designer perspective. So there are lots of people with great creativity, and I hope that they can use emerging technology to add value to the industry and create something they own. Because I think the fashion industry is a bit, how can I say, it hasn't been a great place to communicate value. It's definitely been very important for identity, but if you think about the stereotype they promoted, I don't think that was always quite right, and I'm talking about fast fashion, like I'm talking about body type and, the different kind of things. So let's hope that, fashion can be a better vehicle to communicate identity, right? That's very important because fashion is identity, but also a better way for the creator economy to empower people. They love aesthetics, they love beauty, they are creative. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's happened. I think there is an event that I'm going to be going in London where they talk about fashion and AI. So there is so much going on, and yeah, but let's see what's also happened from the big brands, because they are always one that making the news. So.
All right. So as a final question, by the way, if anybody wants to Google, if they're looking for speakers in terms of cryptocurrency, finance, blockchain, every time your name comes up. So, so what advice would you give to women who aspire to enter and succeed in this male-dominated industries like finance, technology, blockchain, crypto?
So I would say take a risk, believe in yourself, and start building. And don't rely always on other people, but do something yourself. And that is the beginning of a beautiful journey that's going to get you somewhere. And, it will be different in 5 years than in 10 years. And that's what is happening to me. Your journey will have different milestone, and you are not a box, and you shouldn't stay in a box, and you shouldn't be judged by other people. And I'm talking for women, but also I'm talking about anyone really that feels that needs to be motivated to emerge. What are you waiting for? I need to wait for money. Not really, because you can start from relationship is more important than money. People pay you for your relationship. So be a good person, be honest, be straightforward. Don't play games. Never with people. You don't like something, you are honest, you move on. Be ruthless for yourself and your value and your, what you care. So it's not that you need to be friendly with everybody. You need to be ruthless in a good way. And just be true to yourself.
All right. So, Stefania, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for our audience for joining us again. Make sure to send an email to podcast@hipther.com if you want to be on this show. Once again, thank you for your time. I know it's very valuable. If you have some parting words for our audience, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, 100%. I think anybody that is in Europe and is interested in gaming, fintech, I will come to a few of Zoltan conference. I'm going to try to come to all, but it's not going to be easy. But they are really a great place to network and to meet some really cool people. I did definitely in the past. And the people I met 5 years ago, I met them again, over the years. I actually been working with some of them, and has been you bring together a very interesting mix of people that other conferences they don't, because they only focus on the leading names.
All right.
Exactly, where you really unpick the people, and I think This is what we want to see from conferences. And you are doing a great work, especially when it comes to Europe. In different countries, it's not always Paris, it's not always Lisbon, it's not always London. There is Prague, there is
Tallinn, also Budapest.
Exactly. And that's what I love about what you do, that, the Eastern Europe is a place where just people put their development company and that's it. From, my developers are from Bulgaria or Ukraine, and that's it. And there is no conference, there is nothing. So these are just the people that build. And not really, there are also leaders there are money there. There is so much. And I think the diversity that you are bringing, the European diversity that you're bringing across different aspects of technology, not just gaming, I think is something that people should take time and look into.
Thank you so much. It's nice to have you part of this journey. All right. So thank you, everyone. Take good care. Until next time.
Thank you. Nice to be on. Thank you, Zoltan.
And that's a wrap for this section of Hipther Talks. Thank you for being a part of our journey today. Don't forget to tune in next week for more insights and discussions. Stay connected with us on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and more. Until then, keep exploring and keep growing. We'll see you next time.